Okay, now we begin the upgrades of the Civic, J30 swap Civic. You can see I've got a bumper on there now. One issue that I noted, and I mentioned it in an earlier video, is the stock D-Series radiator. This guy here, this little skinny guy here, is not quite up to the task of cooling this much larger engine. So, to that end, I got China's finest replacement radiator. This is a 3-core. You can see how much thicker it is compared to the stock one. I think there's maybe just enough room there to get it fit in there. It is still the half radiator style. It's all aluminum. Like I said, 3-row. It should work better than what's on there. So I'm going to swap that in with the fan that I've got on it and see if that helps. I was having issues with, like, if you did a partial pull on the highway, it would get pretty warm. I saw like 208, which is warmer than I'd like to see it. So I'm going to do that. I also got another piece of 3-inch exhaust pipe. I'm going to get another one of these. These are like 11 bucks at the parts store. And I'm going to make a cold air intake to move the filter from directly on the throttle body and sticking out of the hood to down under there. Because down under there, the air is cool. When the air comes off the radiator here, that is some pretty warm air. And even with the filter sticking halfway out of the hood, you get some really high intake air temps. So I'll run my cold air down there and that'll be good. Alright, there we go. The radiator is mounted. I'm going to have to rework this a little bit. As you can see here, I do have room between the engine, the cylinder head, and the radiator. So I'm happy with that. It's moved over maybe an inch or so from where the old one was. The old one kind of sat over this far. So I think this will work pretty good. Alright, well, as you saw, the exhaust is much quieter now. I put the silencer in the new muffler. That seems to help a lot. If I race it, I will take the silencer out. I'll probably do the tuning with the silencer out too, and see how that works. So the exhaust is all back together. I'm pretty happy with that. The interior is mostly back together. You can see, kind of looks like a thing in there, except for all the stuff laying around. And the stuff I was talking about with the intake, where I was going to build a new intake, I decided I was not going to do that. what I did instead, new radiators in there. What I did instead is I got a 3.5 magnesium intake from the junkyard off of 06 Honda Pilot, I think it was. And this one came with this 1.5 inch spacer here, so you can see there's the manifold, there's the lower manifold, the factory, some vans I think, and the Pilot had this 1.5 inch spacer. So I got the studs and everything. So what that does is, instead of building a cold air intake, it raises the intake and air filter up further out of the hood. So the filter just sitting right there is your cold air intake. And after you drive this thing around for a little bit, the intake is like ambient temperature, even with the engine hot. So that's pretty good, I think. And I don't know, it's been a little while. I've been working on stuff. I did 3D print a bezel for my wideband gauge. If you noticed previously, it was clamped on to the, well, I really messed that up, didn't I? Hello? There we go. It was clamped on to the steering column plastic, and did not look the best. When I say clamped on, it was attached with zip ties. I also picked up a CRV, like a 9701 CRV instrument cluster. This one has the orange border, and it also has a tack. The original one didn't have a tack. I did match the odometer. It actually has that 120,300 some miles on it. I've probably got 200 miles on the car since I got it finished, and I'm about ready to do some more tuning on it and just start driving it, I think, is sort of the point I'm at for the rest of the summer. I was going to try to hit up a car show. I didn't manage to do it. I'm not sure when and if that's going to happen this summer, so what I might do is just drive it for the summer, and then this winter try to fill in some of the open areas around the engine where I hacked out the hood, and try to straighten that out without buying a new hood. And then I want to fix the rust this winter, so it'll get parked here in a few months, and that's kind of the plan. I don't really have, I know I sort of teased you with a race, but I'm not sure that's going to happen this summer now. We'll see. We'll see if there's something this fall that would be good. Otherwise, keep your stick on the ice.